Hey everybody, it's Aquila, and this is a Lefty Knitter podcast, episode number 45. Just wait for it. Yeah. He has a Santa face cover for his motorcycle helmet. Okay, I'm Aquila. I said that. And this is a Lefty Knitter podcast. Dang. Okay. I had a doctor's appointment today, so I got home a little early, and I am going to record what I can. Today is December 10th, and we are in the midst of Vlogmas. If you're watching Vlogmas, I don't know. Some people watch it, some people don't. Just your personal preference. You can find me on Instagram as aquilladahun and on Ravelry as aquilladahun. We also have a group called a Lefty Knitter podcast, which is not very active, but that's okay. Let's just go right into it. I have no finished objects that are knitting related, but I do have fiber related finished objects, so I'm going to show you those first. If you remember, I bought a punch needle at Rhinebeck. And so my first punch needle project that I kind of just dove right into did not come out, my hair looks terrible, did not really come out great, and I learned some tips and tricks from that. So I decided I'm going to dive right in and make Christmas presents for someone, and I did that. So first thing I did was I made my little templates. I had bought the hoops because I knew I wanted a 3 hoop, like a series with three different sizes. Bought 3 different hoops, drew them out, right? So that was number 1. Number 2 was then putting them in the hoops and punch needling. I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to handle this, but I figured it out pretty quickly. I had also realized that I wanted different length and heights to my loops, so I had to modify my punch needle a little bit. Because this is a Oxford punch needle. It's okay. Husband is working from home. Oxford punch needle. Probably is not going to focus on that. And I have these yarns. Now, I'm pretty sure this is also the same yarn. This is Lion Brand Woolies. And I think this is Lion Brand Woolies. I just can't remember what color this might be, or I don't even think I have a label for this. But this one is called Fisherman. Oh, so it's like a cream color. So, like I said, I transferred my designs.
Okay.
So when you're punch needling, if you want the loops on the front, you punch needle from the back. And it gives you the length of the loop, the length of your shaft of your needle. Mine is a 9. I did all of my green, and I'll show you all of them, but I did all of my green without the modification on my little punch needle, the little piece that I put on. And you can kind of see the height difference. So the green was all done from the back, and then I took the cream color and I did about 2 outlines worth from the back also with the cream color with my modification. So it made my loops a little bit shorter. Probably hard to see that.
Okay.
Maybe you can see it from there. Then the rest of these, all the background, I punch needled from the front, which gives you a flat texture and no loop. The loops are then all in the back, which I can't show you because I have hot glued pieces of felt onto the back to try to finish them, to give them a more finished look. So there you go. So this is the smallest one. And then this is the next biggest one. You might be able to see the height difference on this better.
Okay, I think it's,
the inside parts, I did punch needle with the cream color with the regular height of the loop, because I felt like if it was any shorter, you would lose some definition. And then the outline, you can see there. I have a cat on the table shaking it, so I apologize. And then number 3, the largest one, is this one, which took so much longer to fill in all of this. I know it's not perfect. I know you see all this that's not laying down flat and perfect, but there you go. I am really happy with these. I wish I could kind of show you all 3, but I don't think I could do that. I mean, I could attempt it. Boop, boop. There you go, all 3. Doo-doo. So there is my second punch needle experience. My phone is being very strange and not focusing correctly, and I don't know what's going on. So there you go. I really enjoy this. I don't know how often I'm going to do it, but I really do like the finished project that I got from that. So I still follow a ton of Instagram accounts about punch needling, and I really, really, really like it. So the other finished type object I have is also not crochet, it's not knitting. This is called Bargello. Now, it's some sort of needlecraft. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep messing with it, and I apologize. It's some sort of needlecraft because you use this plastic canvas. Now, I know people have seen this plastic canvas before, and you've probably seen people make like tissue box covers out of it. But I think the Bargello part is when I've Googled it, it is regarding the look and the shape and all the texture you get from, not texture, it's like the design, I should say. So if you go to Instagram right now and type in and search Hello Bargello, Bargllo, her account will come up. And I bought her earring pattern because I thought this was really cool. Now you might have seen these on Vlogmas. I only have one set that is finished with the outline, and actually I put earring hoops on, or earring backings on. Again, not focusing for whatever reason. Whatever, some days it focuses and some days it doesn't. So I've outlined these. I've also, this is the pattern she gives in, this is the design she gives in her pattern. I played around with it a little and I made these. Now I'm using yarn from my stash. She, in her kits, sells, it looks like it comes in skeins of how embroidery thread comes, but it's like a worsted weight embroidery thread that she uses. And DMC sells it. I've tried finding it places. I can't find it anywhere. Can't find it. These ones are not outlined. And I think they're really beautiful color-wise. Oh, I wish my phone would focus. Then this pair, 2 pairs, I should say, it's the same colors, but I have a whole set of both, but I reversed the colorways to see which way I liked it better. And I like it both ways. I think it's really cool. Again, I haven't outlined these and put the earring hooks on them, but I really love this. I think it's simple, it's quick, they're really quick projects. I can do a pair of earrings in like half an hour, 45 minutes. So yeah, I highly, highly recommend you go and check out her Instagram account. This cat is being annoying. So our newest cat, Luna, has decided she likes to play with all the Christmas ornaments, and that hasn't been fun. And then she decided she likes chewing on my houseplants because I moved all my plants, except for this one, to the middle of the table on a cute little tray. That one, she ate all the tips off of it. So I had to move it back there somewhere she can't get to. Since she's our tripod kitty, she's not very good at jumping, so she doesn't try to get over there, thankfully. I'm like, I hope it's not poisonous, but she's still alive, so I guess it's not. It's terrible, right? Terrible. So there is, I mean, they're not completely finished projects, but There are some pairs in there that are finished, so we'll just leave it at that. The other things I have going on are a pair of just vanilla socks on my 9-inch circulars. I love my 9-inch circulars. And I've never really done this in the past. So I watch Lisa. Her Instagram is 72 Stitches, and her podcast is Knit All the Things, I think. Is that what it's called? Knit All the Things podcast? No. God, is that right? I'll put it down there. I'm totally having a brain blank. I don't know. This yarn is, to get back to what I was saying. I have never I've never used stitch markers to not like count my rows. I always just like knitting around and keep going, and then I'm kind of like seeing how much I've gotten. I feel like when I put these markers every 10 rows, right? Marking it every 10 rows, I feel accomplished. I feel like, whoa, I have done 10 rows already. I only need like 140 rows for a sock. That's amazing. And because I'll cut my heels in, and then once I get to that many rows, I'll just close it off and do a toe. I feel like these go so much faster because I am putting a stitch marker every 10 rows. So I was like, I can't believe she does that every 10 rows. I think Kay, even the crazy sock lady, puts stitch markers every so many rows. And why I've never done that, but it really does make you feel like you're zooming. Like I still have them on this sock because I haven't taken them off. This one is done. I do a 64 stitch sock for most people. And this yarn is Wandering Wool. I don't even know if they're a company anymore. I guess I'd have to look it up. They're out of Washington, D.C., it says. This is their North Country sock base, 75/25 merino nylon. And the colorway is called One of a Kind. So I don't know if that was actually the colorway name or if that was like an oopsie in the dye pot and it was one of a kind. Okay, Kat, you gotta go. This is Luna, our tripod kitty, and she's not very happy with me. Yep, see ya, goodbye. And she's still hissing. She is just shaking the whole table and chasing her tail and chewing on the plastic bag, and I just can't deal with it anymore. Nope, not happening, Kat. She's very angry. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 rows done. I only need 30 more rows because I think I did 130 on this, no, 120 on this sock. They're a little shorter. I don't know why I stopped, but it's okay. It just goes so fast. I really do love my 9-inch circulars. I know some people that don't love them. Now these are the koigu. Is that how you pronounce it? The chaigu, koigu. These are my favorite. My favorite. Now, yeah, I need more of these. I just need to put them on like a wish list and ask people to buy me like, I just need 2 more. That would be great. 2 more of these. Then I could knit concurrently or have a whole nother sock on the needle. That'd be awesome. I would love it. These are usually my work socks because it's so easy to just throw in my bag. And if I get stopped, which I get stopped all the time at work, even at lunch, and I have my earphones in, buds in, people still talk to me. Leave me alone, I'm at lunch. Wish I had like a curtain that I could close on my cubicle. That would be bomb. The other thing, I have 3 more things, 3 more unfinished objects. Now, I don't know. Okay. We'll just go with this one next. Nice fancy bag. I know. I don't have a sweater bag. This is the Red Moon sweater, and this is by Born and Raised Knits. Born and Raised Knits. I don't know if it has the actual designer's name on it. No. I think I talked about this a little in a previous podcast. I'm working the size 36 bust circumference because it looks giant and I didn't want a huge boat neck. The picture on the front is deceiving. That is not what the sweater is going to look like. The sweater has a big A-line in it. It has long sleeves in the pattern. I am not doing long sleeves. I am doing short sleeves. And it has patterning at the bottom. I'm not doing that out either. It doesn't even show that in the picture. Here is more of what the sweater actually looks like, if you can see that. I know, it's a black and white picture. I apologize. Yeah. Not very boat necky. That does not look like it comes down around her. We'll find out. It'll block out, right? It'll block out. I've gotten pretty far on this. Now, I'm using stash yarn because I am trying not to buy yarn. I'm trying to do some mix-matchy monster type sweaters with what I have. The top yarn, let me just show you the project. Okay. I have yarn still attached, obviously. So, bam. There's the top. There's the yoke. And these big moons here, 6 different charts. 6 charts for these, right? So 1, 2, 3. I labeled them all. A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. That's 6. Because if not, I would never remember where I was. Ever. It'd be really bad. So I still have some of this left because obviously I have sleeves to do. Short sleeves. I used a white yarn for the contrast, and now I am working on the body. Now the body yarn is a variegated and it is pulling. It's kind of striping. I don't mind it. Here, ignore this lifeline of the white yarn. That will come out. Here I did a 20 row alternating of these 2 yarns, and then went straight into the other yarn for the bottom. I haven't tried this on yet. I need to put it on larger needles, longer cord I should say, and try it on. I'm not even sure how far I am from the armpit. I haven't worked on this in a long time. Well, in like 3 weeks. Because really I was just knitting in the round and I needed something else to work on. Let's talk about the yarns. The yarns are all knit picks. These all came, except for the white, in my advent calendar that my husband made me last year. That was very nice of him. The first one, the green, the all green one, is gloss fingering, and the colorway is Kenai, Kenai, Kenai. The gloss fingering, I had 2 skeins of this, is 70% wool, 30% silk, and it's a 50 gram skein. So I had 100 grams total. This bear knit picks, oh my goodness. So I took this and cast it on for Rhinebeck weekend. So that's when I cast this on. So it gives you an idea of how long I've been working on it. Very on and off. It was very on for like the first 2 weeks, and then I haven't worked on it. When John was dyeing yarn, naturally dyeing yarns, I bought Knit Pick Stroll Fingering in the bear colorway. I bought like, I think it was, you buy like, it's not a case worth. I don't know. It's so much. You get so many skeins. When I caked this up, I had 5 balls of yarn. 5. That is uncalled for. It wasn't knotted. It was, some of the plies were split and it was gonna just break if I was knitting with it. I was very not happy with that. Now, on a different note, we have dyed up the Knit Picks Bear and not had this many problems. So this skein was just a very off skein. I still will highly recommend Knit Picks and tell you to buy them, buy their yarn. Just saying. I had no problems with either of these. So the third yarn, the one at the bottom that's variegated, it's a hand-painted yarn. Stroll also, it's the Stroll base, I should say. It's just a different application of the dye. Well, the bear didn't have any dye. That's bear. This one is called Make Believe hand painted, and it's 462 yards, which I believe it is the same. Yeah, it's 462, 75, 25. One is just dyed and one was just plain and undyed. I really like it. I need to try it on to see how much I like the striping around the waist, which is my problem area. We'll see. If I hate it, I have the lifeline in, and I can just go buy some more of this because it's reliably gonna be pretty close in colorway. So I'm just saying. But I didn't want to do that. I was trying to use yarn I had already. But I think on camera, it really does show really cool. And I knew it was gonna, the way it was pulling in the striping where I was alternating, when I scrunched up, you can't see it, sorry. You can see it was pulling. See the purple pulling? So I knew it was gonna pull once it was down here in like a striping type manner. I still think it looks neat. I was really concerned at first and wasn't sure, and that's why I put the lifeline in. At least I still have the lifeline if I do really hate it. So let's just wrap this back up and put it back in its fancy bag here. I'm just using needles that I had on hand that were a fixed circular. Look, Susan Bates, and they work just fine. I have no issues with snagging. The joins are just fine. Although I was at a knit night with some girlfriends, and they called these type of needles something where it bends. See how it bends right here? There's a name for that, and I don't know what it is. But these joins are just fine. I don't have any issues. And they're nice and slick. I like a metal needle. I like, for most things, a metal needle. Not always. I like a wood needle if I'm using something that's real fiddly lace and like on like fingering weight, obviously, because I don't like using lace weight yarn. So I do like a good wood needle for that. So I have some wood needles too. I have some really nice, this is distracting, and it distracts me when I see other podcasters play with their hair all the time. Fix it, or like do this all the time because their hair is longer and they're pushing it back. Drives me crazy, and now I'm doing it, and I'm sorry. I wanted to do something that was kind of Advent-y, and for like Vlogmas, I decided I had two mini sets. I had one from the Swapless Swappers from Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, and I had a Lolo Did It mini set of all the Walking Dead colorways. I decided to use my sock swappers. Say that 18 times fast. This dyer is Teeny Button Studio. Now, these are the order I'm going in. This is not an order she had in her minis. It was just, you got 10 minis. So, these ones, I've used all of them already. And I have about 3 grams left of each one. And each one of these was around 10 grams. 40 yards, 10 grams, something like that. So I'm approximately putting 7 grams in my socks. I'm doing 12 rows of each color. And, oh, here's the last color I just put in. So I'm going to put, nope, I'm lying. That's the color before. The last color is shoved in the sock right now because I haven't cut that. So yeah, I am just kind of working on these almost every night, but if I do it every night, I'll have these done in 10 days, and it's obviously December 10th, so they're not done, so I haven't done them every day. But I'm doing 12 rows of each color. Again, these are 64 stitches. I did a 1x1 rib. Now, when I do 2 at a time like this, which I don't do 2 at a time too often, I'm going to cut the heel in on these too. I don't do 2 at a time very often, but when I do, I cast one on first, do the ribbing, then I put these on like a set of DPNs and just put them to the side. I then cast on my second cuff, finish that cuff, and then put them both on a long cable, like circular needle. This is not a koigu, chaigu, whatever that's pronounced. This is a, out of frame. This is a, the Addy Turbos. I like these. I don't mind them. The cable isn't bad. I do have a 1.5, US 1.5 in the koigu, choigu, whatever, the red cable, and it's so much more flexy, and I like that a lot more, but I had this, so I used it because I wanted a US 1, not a 1.5. So yeah, the ball is tucked in here. I am not counting my rows with my stitch markers because I'm only counting it on, I'm only moving it up every time I change the color, so this will move up and then I'll do my 12 rows. And I'm also gonna have to find a alternate color for the toes and the heels, I believe, because I want all of these in the body of the sock versus in toes and heels. So I'll go through my stash and find something that's gonna work. Maybe like a gray, just like something neutral. Or that Knit Pick Stroll in the white, because I'm done with it and I still have a lot left. I didn't really show you how much I had left, but I definitely have enough left in that ball for heels and toes. So that might be what I do, since it would match everything at that point because it's neutral. So I really do enjoy working on these. I can do 12 rounds in a little, about an hour and a half. And I don't mind working 2 at a time. I just normally don't, because then you're managing 2 balls of yarn unless you have a center pull ball, and then that can get kind of crazy too. I'm just taking these little skeins and balling them up into 2 separate, I'm weighing it. Some of them were like 9, they're probably on the heavy side of 9 grams. And then I'm separating it into close as I can even weights of 2 balls. All the names are on the front, but I don't know her yarn well enough to know which color is what. I can only guess that this is probably butterbeer though. And toasted marshmallow, I'm thinking, is probably this one. Other than that, I'm not quite sure. Oh, throw me something, mister. They're from like New Orleans, right? No, they're in Texas? No, they're in New Orleans because they go to the Mardi Gras, right? That's gotta be the throw me something, mister colorway, because it's the gold, green, and purple. And I don't have a clue what maybe the other colors are. Some of them I'm not even sure what the references are to. So I do enjoy working on these. I did not buy an advent calendar. I have enough yarn and I was trying not to buy yarn. Not that I wouldn't love one, but I didn't need it. Didn't need it. The last thing I am working on is, let me get them ready because they're super cute. This is Red Heart. And it's the amigurumis. Now, the ball came in like a cake, and you get, it doesn't have the colors on it. You get all these 4 of these colors, right? So you get the cream, the red, the purple, and the teal. And you get all of them, and they're caked in one cake, and it tells you to start your project, you just pop out the center color, cut it, and then start winding separate balls for the other 3. So I did that. And you can either knit or crochet your mermaids, and they have patterns for free on Red Heart's website for both. I just decided I wanted to crochet them because I thought that's quicker for me, and I feel like double pointed needles are so fiddly sometimes, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't just want to do it. I didn't want to do it, so I didn't do it. Their pattern though is called the Dia and Mia Mermaid. And I liked the crochet because I liked, oh, see, that's the knitted girl's hair. I don't like her hair. I don't want to do the buns. I want this girl's hair. the crocheted chain hair. She's super cute. That's what I want. There's not another picture of her hair. Kind of looks like Medusa with the snakes, and I liked it. And if you've ever crocheted before, you'll know what I'm talking about when you make chains and it starts to curl and it looks really cool. Well, they're using that and utilizing the curling of the chain to make the hair, and I think that's fabulous. So I'm making 2 of them because one is for my daughter and one is for her best friend, and she doesn't know that I'm making them. I'm really excited. So when I cast these on, it said I needed a bee hook. I don't have a bee hook. Couldn't find a bee hook. I thought I had one, but I don't. So I was like, I'll just cast one with a C, whatever size that is. A C is a 2.75 millimeter. Okay, fine. Using this. It's great. Working this one's head. Did that one. Did all the body parts. Did all the body parts. And then I got to this one's head. And I was like, oh no. So her head is sewn on upside down because technically the bind off edge of the crochet circle was supposed to be near her neck. I don't know if you can tell so much the shaping. You can tell a little bit. But since her hair is going to be red, I just finished the top of her head in red. Plus, you knit these caps to go on the head. And this is what you attach all your little crochet chains to. So you can't even see it. Can't even see it. Totally works. So I have no tan left whatsoever. Then I totally screwed up and I made one in purple and I made one in green. If you know toddlers or have been around toddlers and they have friends, you need to buy them the exact same thing or they freak out. Not all of them, I'm just saying. So these 2 freak out if they don't have the same exact thing. Like seriously, we had to go back to the store to buy those Gusher drinks, not Gushers, the Kool-Aid drinks, because we didn't have 2 of the same color when we were camping. It was a disaster. That was the trip wasn't a disaster. Just that part of it was a disaster. So I have the little tails. Those are done. I've sewn in all my ends. You shove the little mermaid in. Gotta do quite some shoving. I feel like maybe I overstuffed the bodies. I don't quite know. But I feel like it's a little bit much to try to shove it in. So there you go. Shoved in. There you go. Cute, right? Cute. I just now need to attach the caps and do the hair, embroider some faces. I don't know what she's doing here. Embroider some faces. And the pattern also comes with, because she can be either mermaid or human, she comes with a tutu that you can make and a skirt that you can make. I don't think they show pictures of, oh yeah, they do. They're really hard to see. It's black and white, I'm sorry. So I am going to make a tutu and a skirt for each one of them. They're both going to be redheads because I don't want to make one with purple hair. I just don't want purple hair. So the tutus and the skirts will have some of this. I don't have a lot of this color left, so they both might be in the purple. That's okay. And that's all I got. So that's my crochet. So I've had like needlepoint, I've had crochet, I've had knit, and I've had punch needle on this podcast. That is ridiculous. I also mailed out that sweater and the butterfly and cocoon. I needed to get it out the door. If you want to see the finished objects, just go to my Vlogmas day 9, 8, I can't remember. And you can see it there. I just had to get it back out the door because I wanted to get it back to Paige the framer. If you didn't know, I was making some shop samples for her. So they are now on their way to New Jersey. That's all I got. Like I said, I've just kind of been working on a lot of the same things. I've been making like lots of these. The punch needle was taking quite some time. It actually, because I was using this little modification tool, like piece, this is actually a, you put it over your crochet hooks for like cushion. It's like a crochet hook cushion, and I cut it. So it's, you know, your crochet hook would go through there, but I cut it to go over my punch needle. Now, of course, because it's not really meant to be on this, I am not holding my punch needle like this. I've been holding it really strangely down to hold this little foam piece on so it didn't fall off. So I was only getting my stitch length of this length. So it really hurt my hands doing it like this because I was like having to not hold this organically versus like this, you know. So not very comforting. It hurt my wrist doing all the background work. All the other stuff was fine, but all that background work, it was just really killing me. But they turned out really nice, and I really, really like them, and now I can wrap them up for Christmas. Other than that, and doing Vlogmas, we haven't been doing a whole lot. We're going to see the tree in New York City, so that's gonna be fun. We went and saw Christmas lights last night. Nope. Yep, nope. Sunday night. We did that Sunday night. So I was saying on my Vlogmas that if you go into your Google search and type in your county or your city, wherever you live, type that in and say Christmas light shows or light shows to music, something like that. There might be a few in your area. So I actually, one of the girls in my knitting group, it's now her ex-husband, I should say, he used to do this. And this is how I knew about these to go looking for them. He only had a very small display because you have to buy this program to program all these individual lights, and you have to have all these little circuits and all these like stuff I don't understand about electronics. And you have to program every part of each song and which lights you want on and off and everything else. It's a lot of work. He said, I remember him saying this, you can buy like, I guess it's like you're buying the format of the programming or the code to the programming. So then all you need to do is have the electronic components. So then all you're doing is buying the already coded stuff to put to your device. It probably costs money because people take days and probably weeks to program one song. We saw the one house we did, and I ended up, my Vlogmas got copyrighted, which I'm totally okay with. They were playing music from Frozen and Frozen 2, and it was really cool because we had just seen Frozen 2, so we knew the songs and we even listened to the soundtrack. But that's all I got for you. So I think I'm gonna end this. I'm at like 40 minutes. I try to keep them relatively short. So until the next time, which I don't know when that'll be because it varies between 2 weeks and 1 month. Until the next episode, knit happy, y'all.